So, Chip Fest wasn't the first block party I'd ever been to, but it was hands down the most memorable. So, I live in Columbus, Ohio, home of the Ohio State University. And each year in the spring, there is Chip Fest, which takes place on Chittenden Avenue. So, for one Saturday, every house on the street throws a party simultaneously, resulting in one large party made up of about 40 smaller ones. So, I didn't attend OSU, but considering how about half my senior high school class did, I knew plenty of people enrolled there, and one of them was my friend Luke, who happened to live on Chittenden. I'd known Luke since elementary school, but we really only became friends when we both started working at the same Jimmy John's in the senior year of high school. 4 years later, and we were still both working there part time while we made our way through school. So we were on the line making sandwiches when we started discussing weekend plans. "Are you doing Chip Fest?" our mutual friend Nick asks him. "I live on Chittenden. I don't have a choice," he says. Not being an OSU student, I didn't have the faintest idea what a Chip Fest was, but I did know that I wanted in. Tomorrow was my birthday, my 21st, and the only plans I'd scraped up was a half-hearted bar crawl with a few of my friends. So Luke fills me in, says I'm more than welcome to come down. "Cool," I say. Now mind you, this was April 2021. We'd been in lockdown for over a year at that point, and everyone, myself included, was planning to let off a little steam that night. So I head down around 7 o'clock, maybe 5 or so hours after the parties officially started, and honestly, I wasn't impressed. It didn't look like much. The whole street was definitely more packed than I'd ever seen it, but there wasn't much else to distinguish it from 100 other house parties that took place every weekend. People in the yard playing beer pong or flip cup, a lot of yelling and laughing, and 20 different speakers blaring everything from Pop Smoke to Maroon 5. I head in, make my introductions, get down to business. So midnight finds us on the roof of Luke's patio, and you can crawl right out his bedroom window onto it. And we were up there watching a large gathering take shape in the lawns of some houses down the street when I get struck by a call of nature. So I have Sydney, or Tito's lady, she's known in that house, hold open the window so it doesn't follow me as I make my way through and stagger down the hall towards the bathroom. It was only when I was away from the noise of the party that I heard the whump whump of helicopter blades coming through the open window. And so I look up, and I find a police helicopter banking around to the south of us. "This is an illegal gathering," they're saying from the mounted speakers. "Please disperse immediately." Fat chance of that, I say to myself, as I hurry to finish up. There's no way my companions heard that through all the clamor, and I was dying to be the bearer of bad news. I open the door and immediately run right into Ryan, Luke's housemate. "You hear the chopper?" I ask. "What, the helicopter?" "No, I didn't, but I was wondering when they bring that out, because they're flipping cars down the street. And so this, I've just got to see." I grab my buddy Jordan, and we head west down the street towards the chaos, crushing the shards of broken bottles into dust with each step. And at this point, Chittenden was looking like New York after the Avengers saved the city. Flipped cars, downed streetlights, 3 or 4 ambulances, the whole works. A whole line of police trying to get through, but the press is just too thick, and so they give up, get back in their cruisers, and I guess they decide to come back later. So my buddy Jordan whips out his phone to document this whole thing. I'm there trying to look unperturbed and dignified for the snap, when out of nowhere he calls out, "Yo, Spidey!" I whip around, and there, perched atop a Dodge Caravan laying on its side, is Spider-Man, posing for a picture with a quintet of girls. And as soon as the flash comes on, this dude backflips off the minivan and starts parkouring over the still unflipped cars until his foot goes right through a sun window and he falls into somebody's Civic. So we make our way back to Luke's house, report all that we've seen, and hope to God that we don't get called in to, get arrested when all these videos inevitably come out the next morning. And so I wake up, check the local news, and more importantly, the local Snap stories. I learned that the police finally came through around 4 a.m., hours after we'd left. Cool, neat, not what I cared about. So I opened social media to find what I really want. A montage of all the carnage wrought that night, and there, in the center of it all, is Peter frickin' Parker.